Hey, what's going on? This is your coach Alberto here from Levelupstrengthsociety. I'm going to share with you how to build strong and stable shoulders for performance and injury prevention. All right, throughout my years as a weightlifting coach and as a competitive boxer, I've suffered through my fair share of reoccurring shoulder injuries. But through these experiences, I've gained a great appreciation for the health and functionality of my shoulders, especially as it relates to stability, strength, and shoulder mobility. All right, and I realize it's imperative to have strong and stable shoulders, not just for performance, but for everyday life. All right, I'm sure you can agree with that. But as long as I've been a trainer, it's been clear to me, in order to have healthy and strong shoulders and pain-free training, you must learn how to choose the correct exercises for your unique individual needs, and as well as how to regulate the frequency, right? The amount of time you're doing it, the amount of muscle tension on the muscle, and also the best tool to utilize for the specific muscle groups. All right, so for this video, I'm not going to directly engage the muscle groups, but instead I'm going to provide you 4 remedial exercises to strengthen a series of stabilizing muscles. So in order to get the most out of these, it's really good to make sure that you maintain good form and intention. All right, so it's also very important that you target a specific muscle group enough to make sure that you promote strength, growth, and awareness. All right, so I'm going to demonstrate 4 exercises and then share some strategies on how to implement these exercises. All right, so that's it for now. Let's go ahead and get right into the exercises. All right, the single trap 3 raise. This exercise is going to focus on the lower part or lower segment of your traps. All right, so you have your top traps here, you have your mid traps, and then you have a layer below that as well that goes down to the middle of your thoracic spine. So yes, there are muscles there, they exist, but they also play a pivotal role in stabilizing the shoulder and anchoring your scapula down. All right, so all you need is a bench. In this case, I'm using my bench, and I can make it into a 45-degree incline. If you have a wall, that's okay too to prop up on. And then you're gonna need a weight. So at least a 5-pound or less or lighter to start off with is what I would recommend, because it'll take time to really get the movement down as well as feeling the appropriate muscle groups. All right, so let's get into it. So what you're gonna do here is basically all you're gonna do is just kind of rest your hand on the bench. You're gonna lean forward at a 45 degrees, so you just hinge it from the hips, soft bend at the knees, let gravity pull the weight down here in line with the shoulder. And what you're gonna do first is retract the shoulder. So you wanna pull the shoulder straight back, and you wanna keep the shoulder down. You don't want your shoulder to hike up. So you're gonna pull it down and back, and once you're there, you're gonna raise the arm up. Make it align with the ear, bringing it back down, release, and then reset. So you want to make it more of a 2-step process. Retract, and then raise, squeeze, and bring it back. All right, so this next exercise is called a pow raise. All right, the muscles that we're going to target here is going to be the rear deltoid and a little bit of the supraspinatus, which is another external rotator muscle, but it also aids in shoulder retraction and an external rotation of the shoulders. All right, so this is going to target the upper region of the shoulder area on the rear delts. So basically the setup here, I'm going to use an incline bench. This is a good way to get a good angle and be direct, have a direct line to target those specific muscle groups. So I'm going to lie on my side, and of course with a light dumbbell, I'm going to rest my hand across my head for support. I'll place my arm across the chest like so, keeping my shoulder down, and my first 2 knuckles are going to be in alignment with my eye, and I'm going to raise it up that same angle, come up to the top, and then bring it down across, and try to maintain that alignment across the chest. Okay, you don't want to come up and then go in alignment with your scapula muscles. That's not the muscles we're trying to target, or you don't want to go too far up either, or you're not getting much engagement of the shoulder anyway as you get towards the top. So you want to find that sweet spot right in between. You want to keep the arm as straight as possible throughout the range of motion. And of course, you can also do these on the floor as well. You just won't be able to travel as much of a large range of motion, but it will still do the job. This exercise here, we're going to go over a sideline external rotation. So the muscles we're going to target here will be the infraspinatus, one of the 4 external rotators. They are important to stabilizing the shoulder as well as helping with shoulder retraction. All right, so this muscle is crucial to tie all of those movements in together and have an optimal, healthy, and functioning shoulder. All right, so we get into this. There are a lot of tools you can utilize, but for the sake of simplifying things, we're just going to use a light dumbbell. I think anything lighter is great, especially if you're starting off. But if you're a little bit advanced, if you want to go a little heavier, that's okay too. If you have a resistant band, that's fine as well. All right. So here, if you have a bench, you got to line your side. Just have your arm overlap the bench. Have your hand placed comfortably on the floor to provide you support. Keep your arm at a 90-degree angle. Keep the arm across the waist. And the first move you want to do, of course, is retract the shoulder, and then following external rotation, bring it up as far up as you comfortably can and bring it back down. You want to make sure you keep the wrists as straight as you can and make sure that the driving force is behind the shoulder. You're not just moving from the elbow. And you can also do these on the floor as well if you don't have a bench. Really simple, just lie on the floor and perform just as the same position as I have and perform the reps. All right, now we're gonna go over a face pull, all right? So in this scenario, I'm gonna demonstrate with a resistant band. You can also do these with a pair of dumbbells. While we have access to a gym, you can utilize a cable rope as well, seated or standing, but those are just different ways you can apply it. But the overall execution is the same, okay? So here, I'm gonna apply this in a standing position. So I'm gonna step on the resistant band in the middle of it with just one foot. Keep that foot that I'm stepping on as my lead. And then from there, I'm gonna, of course, retract my shoulders. So you're gonna retract, make sure you squeeze. So again, do not hunch your shoulders. Keep it retracted and anchored down. And then you drive up with your elbows. Keep driving your shoulders back. Bring your elbows up in alignment of your ears. And let your wrists kind of relax and go with the flow of the tension. But you want to squeeze the upper back and then bring it back down. So as you pull up, turn them in, squeeze the upper back, and bring them back down. There you have it. They're not the most appealing exercises to do, nor will they leave you with a nice muscle pump. But when taken seriously, you can expect longevity in the iron game and the functional shoulder strength. Right? Treat these exercises like your daily vitamin for long-term shoulder health. Right? When you're consistent, they can help you protect against pain, injury, and sedentary daily positions while improving your lifting potential. All right. Next, I'm going to go over some strategies on how to and when to implement these exercises. All right, so let's get into it. All right, for our first strategy is the warm-up, right? You can implement 2 or 3 of these exercises in your warm-up. So I would say stick more to the light side when doing these exercises. So for an example, I'm going to, if my emphasis of the workout is gonna be upper body, I'm gonna start out with like a chest press exercise. Then I'm gonna start out with muscles that stabilize those particular muscle groups. So for the chest press, it will be more of the external rotators and your traps. So the two exercises I would choose would be the face pull and then the external rotation. All right, so for the face pull, I'll use either a cable machine if you have access to that, or even a resistant band, or a set of dumbbells. So those are different tools that you can utilize. Just depends on what you have available. And then I'll go ahead and do an external rotation. So I can do it sideline with a dumbbell. I can use a cable or a resistant band as well. So there's a lot of ways and different tools you can utilize to get the workout in. And in regards to parameters, I will stick to maybe like 2 sets with more higher volume. So it can be like 15 to 25 reps, but that depends again, what that feels like and works best for you. But just also keep them at a lighter end in regards to resistance, just to prime those muscles, get them warmed up, get them stimulated, and get them ready to go when you're actually doing your warm-up sets for your chest press. Number 2 is the pre-exhaustion approach. So basically, you're gonna combine one of these remedial exercises with a larger movement, right? So I'll stick with the chest press, right? If I'm gonna do a chest press, then I'm gonna combine that with what's called a superset, right? So where you're pairing 2 different exercises together. But the first exercise I'm going to do is an external rotator, right? So if I'm gonna choose the external rotator, I'll do those first, and then pair it with the second exercise with a chest press. So now that the rotators are a bit more taxed, they've already worked and they kind of hit a fatigue point, and then they have to work even harder when it comes down to doing the actual compound movements and stabilizing that specific exercise. Then it gives them twice as much of time under tension. It makes them work a little bit more harder and therefore more demanding on them. And over time, they'll get stronger. The third strategy is post-exhaustion. All right. So basically, you're gonna save 2 or 3 of these exercises at the end of your workout. So again, if you're doing your torso workout and you've done all the major muscle groups that you wanted to hit, and you save the last 10-15 minutes of your workout, usually around the last 2 or 3 exercises, then you incorporate one of these remedial exercises at the tail end of the workout. All right, so this is where you can do it more somewhere in a rep range of like 10 to 12, or you can do up as high as 25 reps, right? Just to kind of finish off everything you have left in the tank on those muscles, set of muscle groups, and a good way to kind of build the conditioning and the capacity of what your muscles can handle, and therefore produce further results. All right, here's the last strategy. The 4th one is opportunistic training. So this is where you seize the moment in your day to get in more repetition, get in more stimulation to the muscle groups to provide, more strength and more endurance, right? So for example, will be, if you're working, behind the desk and you're working hours on end, and you have like 5 or 10 minutes to squeeze in 1 or 2 of these exercises, or maybe just one if that's really what you want to focus on. So the exercise I would choose if I had like 10 minutes will be like a face pull, and as well as the trap 3 supported raise. So get all those trapped muscles, because they're being very stretched, they're getting elongated, and they're not getting any stimulation whatsoever, so that can create a lot of tension in your neck, and that's no bueno, right? Or at the end of the day, you're sitting watching the couch, you can sit on the floor and do some external rotations while you're watching your favorite show on Netflix, or the power raise. Either one of those, just pick one, do 1 or 2 sets, and that's it. Do that daily, and that will help tremendously. Those are the strategies I recommend, and I know for a fact that will contribute towards your health and strength of your shoulders. All right, keep in mind, you can never bulletproof yourself 100% against injury, but you can sure minimize the risk and the damage, as well as decrease your recovery time. All right, so if you're interested in learning more and want some more of a customized approach, then hit us up at any of the social media pages, or shoot us an email, and we'd be glad to help you out. All right, and if you're going to do this right, you're going to invest your time and energy into it, you might as well do it correctly. All right, thanks for tuning in this video, and hope to chat with you soon. Peace.